Today we are going to be talking about ratio tables, which is lesson 5.2. Please turn to page 198. Our purpose today is going to be to identify equivalent ratios and to be able to organize them into a ratio table. Two ratios that describe the same relationship are equivalent ratios. Equivalent ratios means they are simply two ratios that have the same value. You can find equivalent ratios by either adding or subtracting quantities in equivalent ratios or multiplying or dividing each quantity in a ratio by the same number. So you can find and organize these ratios into a ratio table. I'm now going to show you an example of each of the adding or multiplying. Okay, this is on page 198 as well. It says to find the missing values in each ratio table, then write the equivalent ratios. So in the first example, we're talking about pens and pencils. Now notice the pens, to get from 1 to 2, I'm simply counting by 1. So 1 to 2, I'm adding 1. And 2 to 3, I am also adding 1. So I'm just adding the value of the first number in the table. If we are using repeated addition or repeated subtraction, you have to take a look at each individual number. So if I take a look at pencils, my original ratio is 1 to 3. So in order to make another equivalent ratio, I have to add another 3. To make another equivalent ratio, I just keep adding 3. So that's repeated addition. For this example, the numbers that you're repeating are the same for just the pens and just the pencils. The pens and pencils have a different number that you need to add. Okay, now when we're doing multiplication to find the missing values, whatever you do to one number, you do the exact same thing to the other. You can kind of think of this as equivalent fractions. If I'm multiplying the numerator, or the one number, by 2, I have to multiply the other number by 2 as well to keep the ratio equivalent. So 4 times 2 is 8, 6 times 2 is 12. In the next jump, they take the 8 and the 12, and this time they multiply them both by 3. So 8 times 3 is 24, 12 times 3 is 36, but they are still equivalent ratios. So the ratios of 4 to 6, 8 to 12, and 24 to 36 are all equal.